What's up, everyone? I'm Ethan. I'm here with my boy Garrett,
What's going on?
and welcome to HIVE Sports, where we talk all things NFL and college football. Today, we have another episode of our Freshman Spotlight series, where we break down film of some of our favorite incoming freshman prospects.
Today we got Bachmeier, incoming three-star freshman quarterback. He initially committed to Stanford, but then transferred over to BYU, where he is slated to be the first true freshman starting quarterback in quite a while for BYU.
Yeah, funny situation. We can almost call him a true freshman transfer, right? Because he enrolled at Stanford in the spring, and then disenrolled and decommitted and transferred to BYU, and then in just a few months was named the starter as a true freshman. Definitely wonder if the Troy Taylor situation kind of played a factor in that decision. But one thing I'll note though is, we do a lot of this like prospect evaluation before, the season in the summer, and we have lots of notes, and we try to get to these guys in our freshman spotlight videos. And Bachmeier, when he was committed and enrolled with Stanford, was my number one three-star quarterback. So really cool to see that, he's getting a lot of hype, and he was named the starter for BYU in just a few months of being there. So really like his game. He's like a true dual threat guy. His older brother Hank played many years in college football at Boise State, other schools as well. So lots of good football in the family. I think he's a guy that will make a pretty significant impact at BYU, whether it's this year, if not, definitely in the near future. So excited to look at the tape.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, this is a guy who has, I believe his brother Tiger is a wide receiver at Stanford as well. So it's a very athletic family. He's got that in his, DNA.
Well, I think Tiger transferred. I'm assuming Tiger transferred to BYU with him, because I think Tiger's at BYU as well now. So a lot of D1 football in that Bachmeier family.
All right, so as we pull these up, what are some things that you generally like to look for in quarterback prospects, just for those who haven't joined us in prior videos?
Yeah, when scouting, I mean, obviously these 3, 4, and 5-star guys are, going to be athletic, going to probably have decent arms where they're able to throw the ball pretty far. But some of the traits I really like to see is just that natural touch on the ball. Can you put enough air in the ball when it's a deeper throw and you need to land it in a tight spot? Can you put some zip on the ball across the middle of the field? Second thing I look for is timing of your throws. Are you doing your 3-step drop back, one hitch and throwing, or are you holding onto the ball too long? Ooh, that's a cool play. I like that a lot. And then lastly, just pocket presence. You kind of need eyes in the back of your head as a quarterback. And so can you feel the defenders around you, and can you evade, and move throughout the pocket with some, tight gaps?
Yeah, I mean, 18 touchdowns on the ground is pretty impressive, man. So 6'2", 225, this kid is built like a tank. It's not easy to bring him down.
Yeah, and what's crazy is we couldn't find many we couldn't find long enough high school highlights of him as a senior, and so these are his sophomore highlights we're watching, and the numbers he put up even as a sophomore against good competition is impressive. Also, really love the fact that he wears number 47. A lot of people are clowning on him that he's wearing 47 as a quarterback, but I think it's pretty funny, and I like the fact that he is holding on to it, even at BYU.
I love it. He's unique. He's true to himself, and he's throwing darts out here, so it's fun to see.
Yeah, really like that RPO system that this offense is running too. He's on the run, has to throw the ball behind the line of scrimmage, or he keeps it. Like that's something that you don't see really very often at the college level, but it can be done pretty deadly if done effectively.
Yeah. And he's already getting some Tim Tebow comparisons, starting for BYU this next year. And I think a lot of people see a similar play style, but I mean, he looks even potentially more refined as a passer than Tebow was, especially at that level of his career. But what are your thoughts on that, E?
Yeah, really excited to see. I mean, BYU hasn't, like you said, earlier, BYU hasn't had a true freshman starter at quarterback in a long time, and that's just a huge feat of its own, regardless of what level you're at. And when you're playing competitive football like BYU normally does, I'm really excited just to see how he does. Especially coming in, enrolling in May, has only been there a few months, and is still a young teenager guy that needs to put on some more mass. Like I just, it's challenging. It's going to be challenging, but like he has the tools to do it. I mean, he's a true like dual threat quarterback that has a strong enough arm to, make some really impressive throws.
I don't know, man. He puts on any more weight, he might lose a little bit of that shoulder mobility. He's already kind of bulky as it is.
Yeah,
But
that's
you're
true.
you're 100% right. He's only going to develop more, physically as he gets into that college weight room and that college strength and conditioning
Well, I
program.
mean,
So,
we talked about the Tim Tebow comp. I mean, look what Tim Tebow looked like at the end of his career. I mean, the guy played tight end in the NFL, right? So,
yeah.
I think just in general, most most high school prospects will benefit from a little bit of a strength and mass gain a little bit. So,
No, yeah, for sure.
but that is a good point. I am watching sophomore highlights, so I'm sure from his sophomore to his senior season, he, put on a little bit more size.
Yeah. And
But
that's, I mean, it's,
overall,
go
go,
ahead.
no, just like overall, what I like a lot of times in high school, you're either a run first quarterback or you're a throw first quarterback, and rarely do you see guys who can really balance the two well. Oftentimes quarterbacks who think have that run first mentality will immediately just bolt out of the pocket the first second they hear footsteps, and a lot of times that's not the most effective play for play design, because a lot of times you have to step into those throws. The pocket's going to collapse, and a lot of times you see those kind of more raw quarterbacks who are just so quick to leave the pocket, and they lose the fact that if they waited one more second, they had a wide receiver open across the middle of the field. So really nice to see that he's like willing to stay in the pocket, but also athletic enough to move in and outside of the pocket, and also have quarterback design run as well.
100%. He has some arm strength on him too, man. He can put some zip on the ball when he needs to.
Yeah, good example right there. I mean, guy coming across the middle, defenders, coming in close to him, and he's able to get enough speed on that ball.
Yeah.
I also just love the fact that this Marietta offense was an RPO type offense, and you see a lot of college teams, using that RPO offense where the quarterback is having to read the D lineman, read the linebacker, read the safeties, and you're constantly having to, be looking forward and predicting what's going to happen. And the fact that he has that experience already means that learning curve at the next level is going to be a lot easier than if somebody's never even heard of what an RPO is. You're coming into a system, you're having to learn how to react and read, defenders. And so that shows that he has enough ball knowledge going into the season. And then obviously he has enough ball knowledge to be the starting quarterback at a top program. So I think that's definitely a skill set that not every incoming, 3, 4, or 5-star prospect has.
Yeah, and I mean it just says so much that a kid he's had zero experience at the college level. He was a 3-star recruit, and BYU feels very confident in naming them their starter. So I mean that just speaks volumes. His maturity, his mental, understanding, his ability to learn the playbook. I mean, it's just so impressive. So I mean, I got to give you your flowers, man, because you identified this guy very early in the process when he was still committed to Stanford, and I wish we could have done a video then because it would have
Yeah,
made you look like a genius. But
I
excited to
know.
see what he does for BYU, and we got more of these freshman spotlights on the way. We're also going to break down some sophomores who were freshmen last year for you. So college football season is among us, and we're going to be pumping out content. So make sure you subscribe, make sure you leave a like, and feel free to comment with any content that you want to see on the way.